Hello and welcome back to HardReset.Info. In this video, I will show you how to connect your DJI Mic 3 onto your Android device. Let's begin! So this microphone here is freshly out of the box. It has never been connected to anything in its life, and let's just start and enable it. We can do that by just pressing and holding or just clicking the power button right here. Or we can press and hold it for longer, and now we can see we can choose the language if you want to. Of course, this screen is fully touchable and it's operational, so I will go with language. And now we can scan the QR code. Actually, I'm not sure if you guys can see it very well, but we can basically scan the QR code to download app or application. Now you could scan this QR code, but there's actually other way for doing that. Let's try to get into our Android device. For me, it's Realme 14 Pro, but it doesn't really matter which device you have. Now, after you have done that, you want to simply go into your Play Store, enter search, and simply type in DJI or I. Now we will see a few different applications. This is because DJI actually has like drones. You will notice a few applications for drones, but we want to focus on this application right here. It's very important. It's not as intuitive as I would think, but it's actually in the shopping category. So if we go back here, we can see that it's indeed shopping. And don't you worry, this is very good still. You can also click the publisher and you'll notice that the publisher has two applications, DJI Smart Farm and DJI. I don't think it's like they're going to plan doing anything else with that. So yeah, for 2025, this is the publisher's application. And now we can simply hit install and we can wait until it's installing. But after it's installing, and it's still installing, we can see we have our microphone still here. Let me quickly check the internet because I'm pretty sure that, okay, it will take some time since this is pretty large application, and surprisingly I have very poor internet connection. That's kind of interesting. Okay, so after quite a long time the application is finally installed. I know it shouldn't normally take this long. Something is wrong with my Wi-Fi, I have no idea what. But anyway, we can now go into open. And I have no idea why this looks like Spanish. Let's go with no. Oh, and we have to agree. Well, let's accept. Let's accept. Let's no. Can I get like? Can I get ability to change the language, please? That would be pretty cool. So let's go into here. Okay, so configuration looks like, oh, finally. Okay, we have something here. And let's switch to English maybe. I have no idea if you guys will also get this in Spanish. But that's pretty, okay, United Kingdom, here we have it. Okay, finally. So now, how can we actually use this? Because normally the DJI application itself is actually an app store. Well, app store, it's a fancier way of buying DJI related things, like for example microphones, drones and all of that. Well, that's actually kind of good question. But let's continue going further. But looks like we can't really do anything. So let's, for example, try to look for Bluetooth. Because we should get ourselves a Bluetooth right here, but unfortunately we don't see it. So instead, let's simply get into our Google Lenses right here, and let's try to scan the QR code because now it should actually open the application. So I will scan the QR code. And it's not opening any kind of application, it's actually opening some sort of site, which is kind of disappointing. But okay, let's just continue with our setup. We can go into indoor environment, but of course if you want you can set something else. And now technically we have our microphone working, But of course it's not yet connected to the microphone itself, because this is the microphone and this is the receiver. I have no idea why everything is taking so long to load. No idea why. And now, if I remember correctly, all you want to do is just hit the link button, which is right here. You can try to press and hold it. And you can try to see if something is happening, but looks like it's not, so let's press this button instead. Okay, I have heard... Finally! Finally! So we want to press and hold the red button, and now, thanks to this, we can now fully talk to our microphone. Now, looks like we don't really even need to have that. We can go into download Android app, but this will be... We're going to be transported into Google Play Store, I believe. It will be very funny if the moral of this episode will be, oh, I installed wrong application. That's not very good. But anyway, technically speaking, you don't really have to have any kind of application. I have no idea why everything is taking so long to connect, but anyway, if you want to use it, for example, in your camera or in anything else, as you can see, we also have a few options here. So for example, we can enable different vibrations like this, which is pretty cool. We can also mute the microphone, which is pretty cool. And you can also make it so it's recording or not. And this looks like a lie, but sure. But let's download anyway. And apparently we're not even downloading from Google Play Store. That's pretty interesting. I know that this video is very chaotic, I'm sorry, I'm also doing this for my first time, but it doesn't really matter, because we want to, well, it really depends on what you're doing. If you have a microphone port, then you probably want to connect it, and we can connect it with this, which should also come in with our packaging. So if we would open it, and we can see that we have two cables here. This one is the typical cable for USB-C, and I believe, well, actually never mind, this is charging cable for your microphone. As you can see, there's a nice charging with a magnet on it, but you want to make sure that it's actually on the right side, so it actually can connect. And as you can see, the microphone is still working pretty well. And using this cable, we should be able to connect to, for example, some stereo manual camera by just plugging it in here. And as you can see, we even have a nice, we had a nice icon. And the other part should be connected to something else. Of course, you probably want to screw it in, but that's about it. And as you can see, we even have information that it is not connected. So, technically speaking, we could do some funny thing, like for example, plugging this into our phone, right here. And then we can do something like this. But unfortunately, we are indeed connected, but we don't really have anything here, so if you'll notice, this technically still works, but it's not actually receiving any kind of audio from our phone, nor the phone is actually charging up the microphone itself. Now, I'm really sorry. I have no idea why everything is taking so long. Oh my god. Why is my internet suddenly dead? I have no idea. But anyway, that was a little overview of the microphone itself. Now, once again, I want to be crystal clear. Technically, the app is not really must-have. Like, sure, it helps you with wireless, but many people aren't actually using this as a wireless thing. And even if you go further and, for example, go into reviews, you will notice that many people actually say that it's kind of useless, which is not very cool. But anyway, that's the end of this video. If you found it useful, make sure to leave a like, subscribe, and as always, thanks for watching. See you next time.